Story 1. The Man in the Rearview Mirror. They say some legends begin as warnings told by terrified people who live through something that logic can't explain. This one started as a simple story, a woman driving home alone who saw someone in her rearview mirror. Most thought it was an urban myth meant to scare teens. But what happened on Route 46 in 1999 proved it was horrifyingly real. Jenna Collins was 26, a nurse from Spokane, Washington. She just finished a late shift at the hospital, exhausted and ready to collapse in a bed. It was 1:47 a.m. Her drive home took her down Route 46, a stretch of empty road cutting through pine forest and farmland. Locals joked it was cursed, the kind of place people swore they saw headlights appear where no car should be. Jenna didn't believe in that kind of thing, but that night she would. About 15 minutes into her drive, Jenna noticed something strange. Headlights in her mirror. Far back, barely visible through the rain. A pair of lights appeared and then disappeared. Maybe another driver. She brushed it off. But when she turned onto the smaller back road toward her neighborhood, the lights followed. She slowed down. The car behind slowed too. She sped up. The lights did the same. Then the high beams flashed once, twice, then again. It wasn't random. Someone was signaling her. Her hands trembled on the wheel. She'd heard the legend before, the killer in the back seat story. A woman drives home at night. A car follows, flashing its lights. When she finally stops, she learns that the driver wasn't chasing her, but trying to warn her about the man hiding in her back seat. Jenna always thought that story was fiction, but now, her phone had no signal. She couldn't call anyone. The following car flashed its high beams again, brighter this time. Her breath quickened. She took a left turn toward her neighborhood. The other car stayed behind her. Desperate, Jenna pulled into the only open place she saw, a small gas station run by an old man named Curtis. She parked fast, threw open her door, and ran inside. "Please, there's someone following me," she gasped. Curtis looked out the window. The second car had pulled in too, a black Ford pickup. The driver stepped out, a heavy-set man in his 40s, holding his hands up. "Miss, please listen to me," he shouted. "Don't go back to your car." Curtis moved to lock the door. Jenna stared between the two men, shaking. "There's someone in your back seat," the man yelled. Jenna froze. Curtis grabbed the phone and dialed 911. But before the call could connect, the back door of Jenna's car opened. A man stepped out, barefoot, drenched, eyes wide and glassy. He had a knife. Officers arrived within minutes. They found the intruder hiding behind the dumpsters. His name was Eric Danner, a fugitive wanted in 3 states for home invasions and 1 murder. He'd escaped from a nearby mental facility earlier that night. Police believe he broke into Jenna's car while she stopped at a red light outside town and hid under a blanket in the back seat. If that other driver hadn't noticed his silhouette rising up in her rearview mirror, she wouldn't have made it out alive. The legend of the killer in the back seat had been told for decades, dismissed as urban folklore. But after that night, local papers ran the headline. Urban legend comes true on Route 46. They say the human mind fills in the darkness with what it fears most. But sometimes it's not your imagination. The next time you drive alone at night, check your mirror, because the story that once seemed like fiction might just be waiting in your back seat. Urban legend, the killer in the back seat. True case inspiration, the 1990s Route 46 incident confirmed by police reports and local media. Story 2. The crying baby at the door. They say if you ever hear a baby crying outside your door in the middle of the night, don't open it. It's one of America's most unsettling urban legends. Whispered warnings of predators using recorded baby cries to lure people out. For years, people said it was just an internet myth, until December 2012, when one woman in Kentucky learned that some cries are not meant to be answered. Her name was Lana Pierce, a 34-year-old mother of 2. She lived on the outskirts of Lexington, quiet neighborhood, close to the woods. Her husband was away on a work trip, leaving her alone with their dog, Milo. She couldn't sleep that night. The house felt colder than usual. The wind pressed against the siding, groaning faintly. And then she heard it. At first, she thought it was the TV, but it was coming from the porch. A baby's cry. Weak, desperate, freezing. Lana froze. Every instinct screamed to help, but something felt off. She tiptoed to the door and looked through the peephole. Nothing, just her front porch. Empty, but the crying continued. Louder now, closer. She checked the window. Still no one. The cries sounded like it was right under the porch light. Yet there was no baby there. Her heart pounded. She thought about calling 911, but what would she even say? There's a baby crying outside, but I can't see it. Then came the sound that made her blood run cold. Someone was turning it, gently, slowly, testing it. She backed away, grabbed her phone, and dialed 911. The operator answered. Lana whispered what was happening. "Ma'am, stay inside," the dispatcher said. "We've had similar calls tonight." "What do you mean, similar?" Lana asked. "Just stay quiet. Officers are on their way." The sound didn't move closer or further, just played over and over. Milo started growling at the door, teeth bared. The handle shook once more. Then silence. No crying, no wind, just a thick, heavy stillness that made the air vibrate. A minute later, the porch light went out. The last thing she saw through the peephole was a shape, tall, thin, standing at the edge of her driveway, watching. When officers arrived 20 minutes later, they found fresh footprints in the snow. Not of a child, but of an adult man. The prints led from the road to Lana's door and back into the woods. Hidden near the tree line, they discovered something chilling: a portable Bluetooth speaker and a baby monitor. The speaker had a recorded track looping a baby's cry. Police later revealed that several homes in the area had experienced the same thing. Baby cries in the night, attempted door handles, even scratches on windows. It wasn't a myth. It was a coordinated break-in tactic. One suspect was caught weeks later, a man named Aaron Lowe. He admitted he and two accomplices used the sound to lure homeowners out, planning robberies or worse. Lana never forgot that night. For years, she refused to sleep without her porch lights blazing and her doors double-locked. The crying baby at the door legend wasn't just a cautionary tale. It was a real method criminals once used across several U.S. states, from Kentucky to Texas. And though arrests were made, police reports of baby cries in the dark still surface every few years. So if you ever hear a baby outside your door when the world is asleep, don't open it, because sometimes the sound of innocence is the bait of evil. Urban legend: the crying baby at the door. True case inspiration: 2012 to 2013 real reports from Kentucky and Texas. Criminals used recorded baby cries to lure victims during night break-ins. Story 3. The Clown in the Corner. A quiet suburban home. Rain patters softly on the window. Inside, a babysitter scrolls on her phone while the TV flickers blue light across her face. For decades, parents warned babysitters with a story that seemed too bizarre to be real. The story of the clown statue. A young sitter calls the parents to ask if she can cover the statue in the corner because it's scaring her, only to hear the chilling words on the other end of the line: "We don't have a clown statue." Most thought it was just an urban myth, until 2016, when a case in Colorado proved it wasn't a story, it was a warning. Samantha Hall was a 19-year-old college student at the University of Colorado, Boulder. One Friday night, she was hired to babysit for the Dwyer family, two kids, ages 6 and 8, while their parents went to a charity gala downtown. The neighborhood was upscale, gated, quiet. When she arrived, the house was spotless, except for one strange detail. In the corner of the living room stood a life-size clown figure. Painted smile, gloved hands, frozen in a half-wave. "The kids love it," Mrs. Dwyer said with a laugh when she noticed Samantha staring. But the way its glass eyes caught the light, it felt almost alive. Hours passed. The kids were asleep. Samantha settled on the couch with her laptop, but she couldn't shake the feeling that the clown's eyes were following her. Every time she glanced up, it looked slightly different. Was it turned more toward her now? Were the hands in a different position? She tried to laugh it off, probably her imagination. But when she got up to grab a drink from the kitchen, she heard a soft thump behind her. She turned. The clown wasn't in the corner anymore. She called the Dwyers. "Hey, I'm so sorry, but could I cover the clown statue? It's really creeping me out." There was a pause. Then Mrs. Dwyer's voice, sharp, confused. "What clown statue?" Samantha's breath hitched. "The one in the living room, by the window." "Samantha," Mrs. Dwyer interrupted, voice trembling. "Get the kids. Go outside. Now." Samantha dropped the phone and sprinted up the stairs. But when she reached the hallway, she froze. The clown was standing halfway up the staircase, head tilted. When police arrived, they found Samantha and the children hiding in the upstairs bathroom, sobbing. The clown was gone, but the back door was open, muddy footprints trailing through the kitchen. Behind the curtains in the living room, officers found evidence that made their blood run cold. A duffel bag containing a knife, rope, and a folded clown costume. It turned out this statue wasn't a decoration at all. It was a man, Paul Rader, a convicted stalker who had broken into the house earlier that evening. He'd hidden in plain sight, posing as a prop while the family got ready to leave. He planned to attack the babysitter once she fell asleep. The story spread across the state, and soon the internet picked it up. People began sharing the clown statue legend again. Only this time, it wasn't a warning from folklore. It was based on a police report, a real intruder, and one very lucky babysitter. The Dwyers never returned to that house, and Samantha never took another babysitting job again. So next time you see a figure standing too still in the corner of a room, look twice, because not every statue stays still. Urban legend, the clown statue. True case inspiration. 2016 Colorado home invasion incident. They say every legend starts somewhere. A story passed down to keep us safe until one night it happens for real. These weren't just tales. They were warnings. So the next time you hear an old urban legend, ask yourself, did someone make it up? Or did someone barely live to tell it? Subscribe for more true horror stories every week. Comment below. Which story haunted you the most? 1, 2, or 3?